There's this little story of Albert Camus. This is after he had gotten a bit of notoriety. Post Nobel Prize recognition. I think he must have had all these reporters, journalists, hounding him, in public places. And so one day there was this journalist who had yelled out, "Hey, Albert," wanting to get his attention, perhaps ask a question. Apparently, Camus had turned around and looked at this gentleman, probably recognizes him, part of the press corps maybe. He addresses him and says, "It's Monsieur Camus, if you please." I imagine he must have had a rough day, was at his wit's end. And so, to connect today, there's a song that comes to mind. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular crowd shows in. What I'm wondering about is, if we, you and me, where would we place this piano man in terms of imagery, in our imagination, and to recognize ourselves in this scene today? Of course, our place on the harbor, the Rainbow Pub and Grill, wouldn't be a bad spot to meet up. It exists only in our mind. There's no geolocation that you can drop a pin on. Best of all, no transit required. And so you walk in there and the featured entertainment is going on. A quick scan of the place. You see this one corner. The bartender seems to have a captivated audience. You stroll over, and the bartender, she gives you a smile. She recognizes you from your previous visit with the owner. "There seems to be a question that has been dropped on our plate," she says, while welcoming you to sit. "A story has just been told about a man who sleeps on the floor of his room every night in order not to enjoy the comfort that his friend who has been imprisoned is deprived of." And you say, so the question on the table is, who will sleep on the floor for us? Well, Oh, you're asking me if I'm capable of it? Sleep on the floor so as not to enjoy a comfort that my friend has been deprived of. Oh, well, yes. Look, I'd like to be. And the talented bartender, recognizing the discomfort in you, closes with this line: "We shall all be capable of it someday, and that will be salvation." Oh, here comes the manager, wearing a pleasant but curious smile. She gets close and whispers in my ear, "You're in for a surprise this evening." A surprise? I wonder what that is. I look toward the entrance, where I just walked in from. Why, it's Monsieur Camus. He's taking steps in our direction. We are lucky. I love the crowd at the Rainbow. Classy. There's no impatient attempts at handshakes, greeting. Camus walks in, a nod of acknowledgement, and one of them offered him a chair. No fuss. He's like any other, joining in. And as the bartender prepares Albert's drink, the little Frenchman sitting next to me, as if to continue on with that story about sleeping on the floor. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, that is just the kind of question that I wonder about. And then turns to all of us to present a hypothetical. Shall we say each of us has 20, to put a number on it, close friends? You've been through it all together, known each other for at least 20, but what seems like 100 years. And one of you, who's been buying a lottery ticket every Monday for the past 20 years or so, hits the jackpot, $100 million. And so you find yourself in this strange predicament. On the one hand, you know that this is going to affect the purity of your friendship with the 20? Is there a way to keep it together exactly as it exists prior to the win? And the old man sitting to my right side, he says, divvy it up, equal measure. What? Win 100? Keep 5? I think this would be the time that Albert Camus, who has been silent and observant, may possibly chime in. He's impressed with that recommendation. Divvy it up, equal measure. But how many of us would do that? Doesn't seem realistic. He might say, there is no easy answer. Friendship is absent-minded. It's unavailing. It's incapable of achieving what it wants. Or maybe it doesn't want it enough. I think most of us would say, I'd be really satisfied with sincere understanding. That would be my expectation from friendship, because it's found more readily. Besides, it's not binding. Friendship is simple. It's long and hard to obtain, but when one has it, when you have found it, it's simply hard to get rid of. Where am I going with this? There's a story of the animal tamer that I want to get to, but it seems like we have run out of time. The song is almost over, but the show will continue.